This is the new Genesis G70 shooting brake, a new estate car launching in Europe as a rival to other estate versions of the BMW 3 Series, Audi A4 and Mercedes C-Class. In this video, we're showing you outside, inside, taking a look at the boot and telling you how Genesis is doing things a little bit differently. So for those who don't know, Genesis is the premium brand of Hyundai. It's a similar relationship as the ones between Lexus and Toyota and DS and Citroën. Launched in 2015 in South Korea and 2017 in the US, it's only just arrived here in the UK. And we have recently driven the Genesis G80 and GV80. You can watch our review of the latter by clicking the link at the top of the screen there. There's also a GV70 SUV and G70 saloon on the way here too. But those other models will be sold in lots of other markets as well. The G70 shooting brake is the first from Genesis to be designed specifically and exclusively for Europe. It has had quite a head start in life though, because it's based on the G70 saloon, which has been around since 2017 and recently had a big midlife redesign. And that car, by the way, is based on the same platform as the Kia Stinger. Now, as you might expect from a styling perspective, this estate version of the G70 is very similar to the saloon. So at the front, you've got this big shield-shaped grille and also this double-stacked headlight design and a very similar look to the lights at the back of the car as well. But in terms of overall dimensions, the estate and the saloon are actually very similar. They take up the same amount of space on the road. And that's also the same for estate and saloon versions of rivals that this car's up against from BMW, Audi and Mercedes. And also the 19-inch alloys that this car gets are the biggest ones that you get with the G70 shooting brake. Now at the back, this is where the shooting brake does look very different from the saloon. So you can see this has been extended out into a hatchback opening and it's got a kind of floating spoiler as well. And the whole back of the car does look quite cool and chiseled, but you can see this is a fairly narrow opening to the boot. The boot release is on the rear windscreen wiper there, and you get 465 litres of storage, which is 40% more than what's on offer in the saloon. So obviously that's a really useful extra amount of storage to have. But what do you get in the G70 shooting brake boot? Well, as we said, it is a slightly narrow opening here. There's also a bit of a loading lip, and it gets fairly narrow towards the back of the load bay as well. But you've still got these storage nets either side at the front and a little bit of underfloor storage as well. It's got this parcel shelf at the back as well, but you can see it doesn't go right towards the end, but you still have this extra bit up here to mean that people can't just look through the glass and see exactly what's in your boot. Every G70 shooting brake also has 40-20-40 split folding rear seats. And if you want to put them down, you can fold them 60-40 using these levers in the back here. And when they're down, they form a pretty flat, helpful, practical extended load bay. If you're wondering why some manufacturers use the shooting brake name, by the way, it's actually a car body style that originates from the 1890s and some horse-drawn carriages which are actually specifically designed to carry shooting parties and all their equipment. But there's nothing 19th century about the G70 shooting brake interior. It's got a really nice look, decent feel as well, with good quality materials, especially on the dashboard here. There's also plenty of physical controls, so it's really easy to operate the infotainment system and also the air conditioning too. But when you consider this car's up against the 3 Series, the A4 and the C-Class, next to those, this does just feel a little bit more plasticky compared to them. They've got a kind of final layer of polish that is missing a little bit in this car, but it's still a decent interior and there's no doubting how well it's been put together. With the infotainment system, it's a 10.25-inch screen, and if you're familiar with Kia and Hyundai infotainment systems, then there's no nasty surprises for you here. You get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's a reasonably responsive screen with pretty decent graphics. There's a reasonable amount of space in the back of the G70 shooting brake. You can see I'm just under 6 foot. The driver's seat is set up in my driving position and I've got a reasonable amount of leg room there. I can fit my feet under the seat in front too. But headroom is where it does feel a little bit cramped, because if I want to sit up straight and have my head on the headrest, you can see I'm touching the roof lining here. So a 3 Series Touring does offer a little bit more clearance for headroom in its rear seats. And it should also be said, if you're not fussed about having a premium badge, then there are more practical out-and-out estate cars that offer loads of space in the rear and massive boots. In the UK, you'll be able to get your G70 shooting brake with either a 2-litre petrol or this 2.2-litre diesel. Whichever one you go for, you'll get an 8-speed automatic gearbox and it'll be rear-wheel drive. Genesis isn't offering any hybrids, but they're instead going straight for fully electric vehicles. So there is a chance that in the future we might see an electric version of this G70 shooting brake. What we won't see, unfortunately, is the 368 brake horsepower 3.3-litre V6 petrol, which is offered in other markets but isn't coming to the UK. As for the trims, there's going to be 3 to choose from. You'll have premium, luxury or this range-topping sport trim, but it's yet to be confirmed what each one is going to get. And on top of those trims, you'll be able to add some packages as well. So there's an innovation or a comfort package, and that will add things like additional safety features, heated seats and a Napa leather interior. Whatcar.com to get a great deal on your next new car, and hit the subscribe button to see all of our new car reveals and reviews when they go live.